They call it spirits for a reason, but the truth isn't as playful as the name suggests. When you drink alcohol, something happens that science can describe, but spirituality understands far more intimately. Your body changes, your mood shifts, but beneath the surface, a gate opens. One that few ever speak about. One that ancient cultures once protected us from. The word spirit once meant something sacred, ethereal, divine, or demonic. And when alcohol adopted the name, it wasn't poetic, it was a warning. What if every time you drank it wasn't just a buzz you let in, but something watching, waiting, whispering through the fog? And that's only the beginning. Next, we go back to the ancients. Ancient civilizations didn't just use alcohol casually. They used it in specific rituals, sometimes to summon, sometimes to sacrifice. The Greeks knew it. Dionysus wasn't just a god of wine and revelry. He was the god of chaos, possession, madness. The Egyptians warned of Set, who brought intoxication as a way to fragment consciousness. And across shamanic traditions, alcohol was a tool, not a toy, one used with caution and intention. Today we drink in clubs, weddings, after work, thinking it's harmless fun. But in sacred texts, any substance that distorts the mind was seen as opening you to outside interference, energies that don't belong to you. Still think it's just about relaxing? Chapter 3 will shake that idea. When you drink, your ego relaxes, your filters drop. You say things you don't mean, or maybe things you do, but would never dare. But what if you're not just uninhibited? What if you're unguarded? Modern psychology calls it a disinhibited state, but mysticism calls it something else: possession. No, not like in horror movies, much more subtle. You step out of the driver's seat, something else steps in. Maybe it's your pain, maybe it's suppressed anger, maybe it's something that was waiting for you to let your guard down. And when the night's over, you wake up asking, what got into me? The real question is, what left you? Want to know why the hangover feels so empty? Chapter 4 reveals the deeper cost. The hangover isn't just physical, it's spiritual displacement. You wake up feeling lost, sad, low, sometimes even paranoid. You think it's dehydration or lack of sleep. But part of it is that your spirit stepped back while you were under the influence, and now it's trying to return. But spirits don't like to re-enter tainted space, and alcohol leaves residue, not just in the liver, but in the energetic field around you. You wake up not just with regret, but with something lingering that doesn't feel like you. That's not a chemical imbalance. That's a spiritual signal. So what actually enters us during these moments? Chapter 5 gets raw. In many traditions, alcohol is a known portal, not metaphorically, energetically. The moment your awareness dims, you become susceptible. Think of it like turning off your home's security system and leaving the door open. Anything passing by can walk in. Entities, not visible to the eye but felt in the body, gravitate toward incoherence, toward chaos, toward alcohol-fueled states. Ever noticed how arguments break out faster around alcohol? How jealousy, rage, or lust dominate the room? It's not coincidence. You're not just around drunk people. You're around open doors. But if we're opening doors, what's walking in? Chapter 6 will show you. There are energies in this world, call them spirits, entities, frequencies, that feed on distortion. When you're grounded, clear, aware, they cannot touch you. Your light is too coherent. But drunk, you're foggy. Your aura is perforated. Your thoughts spiral. Your voice wobbles. To them, that's food. And so they enter. Not with a dramatic takeover, but subtly, gradually. They influence your thoughts. They feed your self-doubt. They amplify your pain. And the more you drink, the more you become a host. Wonder why some people change completely when they drink. Chapter 7 has the answer. He's not the same when he drinks. She turns into someone else. We've all said it, but what if it's truer than we think? Drunken transformations aren't just chemical, they're spiritual shifts. When someone's personality flips, from kind to cruel, from quiet to chaotic, you're seeing something else expressed through them, not just an inner shadow. Sometimes something foreign. The vessel is available, the guard is down, and the ego that usually pretends to be in control has stepped aside. Now something else gets to play. What if we never came back from one of those nights? Chapter 8 explores that danger. Trauma can fracture the soul, so can alcohol. Every time you black out, every time you numb, a piece of you leaves. A piece that doesn't always return on its own. Shamans call this soul loss, a depletion of your life force. That's why the more you drink, the less alive you feel, less drive, less joy, less you. You're trading fragments of self for fleeting highs. And over time, you become a stranger in your own body. That hollow feeling, it's not because the party's over. It's because you're not all there. So what would it mean to come back fully? Chapter 9 offers a path. Healing isn't just about quitting alcohol. It's about retrieving what was lost. Through meditation, breathwork, fasting, prayer, you begin to call the pieces home. You find the version of yourself that existed before the numbing, before the nights you can't remember, before the regret. You begin to shine again, to feel again. You begin to remember. And that remembrance is power, because once you remember who you are, the spirits lose their grip. But first you must choose to stay fragmented or to remember. Chapter 10 shows the fork in the road. When you stop drinking, the silence is deafening. It's not just the absence of noise, it's the echo of what you've been missing. You feel raw, exposed, vulnerable, and in that vulnerability, something sacred stirs. The soul re-emerges slowly, like a mist over still waters. Dreams return. Synchronicities spark. Your gut speaks again. Clearly, it's disorienting, but it's real. And for the first time in a long time, you remember what it feels like to be inhabited, fully. Sobriety isn't just abstinence, it's sovereignty. It's saying no foreign spirit may live in me. I am not a vessel for chaos, I am a temple. If this sounds powerful, wait until you hear what alcohol actually replaces. Chapter 11 explains, every drink replaces something, not just hydration, not just time, but moments of clarity, connection, presence. You drink to escape stress instead of learning the message it's trying to deliver. You drink to feel confident instead of strengthening the self-esteem that comes from earned experience. You drink to feel free instead of confronting what cages you. Each sip pushes the real solution further away. Alcohol gives the illusion of healing while deepening the wound. And over time, you forget what it ever felt like to be whole without it. But there's a reason alcohol is everywhere. Chapter 12 unmasks the matrix. Alcohol isn't just accepted, it's glorified. It's in every commercial, every celebration, every pop song chorus. To refuse it is almost to offend. To resist is to be accused of judgment. Why? Because the spell is collective. We are told it's normal, sexy, empowering, mature, but in truth it's numbing, fragmenting, and enslaving. The industries behind it know this. They count on your silence. They've turned poison into pleasure, addiction into aspiration. The machine feeds on our amnesia, but truth breaks spells. Chapter 13 begins the unraveling. Waking up to alcohol's impact isn't easy. It often begins with a quiet ache. There's something off about this. That's your intuition reawakening. That's your soul knocking. To break the spell, you don't need guilt. You need clarity. Try this. Go 30 days without a drink, not as punishment, but as prayer. Notice how your energy shifts, your sleep, your focus, your interactions. Notice the space between thoughts widen, the dreams returning. That space is sacred, guarded. And in that sacred space, the real you reappears. Chapter 14 goes deeper. Your body is not just flesh, it's a temple, a spiritual technology. Every cell holds memory. Every organ has intelligence. The liver, often abused by alcohol, is the seat of anger and purification in many healing systems. When you drink, you don't just harm tissue, you dishonor intelligence. Sobriety isn't about perfection, it's about reverence. It's saying, this vessel deserves clarity, this soul deserves a clear sky. And the more you clean the temple, the more clearly you hear the divine within it. But what if you've already done damage? Chapter 15 offers hope. No matter how far you've strayed, there is always a way back. The soul is endlessly forgiving. The body is endlessly regenerative. With every sober sunrise, your system recalibrates. With every moment of presence, your frequency rises. You may feel guilt, shame, regret. Let them come and let them pass. They are not your identity. They are the smoke, not the fire. And the fire of your spirit is still burning, waiting to be tended. When you begin to heal, your gifts return. Chapter 16 explains why. Without alcohol clouding the lens, something incredible happens. You see more, you feel more, you know more. You notice subtle energies. You sense truth behind words. You hear the whispers of your own wisdom. Many ancient cultures believed each of us had a seer inside, a mystic, an oracle, a healer. But the seer cannot work through smoke. Clear the lens, and the visions come back. The path appears. The knowing flows. But can you walk this path in a world that worships the drink? Chapter 17 shows how. Being sober in a drinking world is spiritual rebellion. You will be questioned, you will be mocked, you will be misunderstood, but you will be free. And in your clarity, others will begin to wonder, what if they're right? What if there's something more? You become a mirror, a lighthouse, and without preaching a word, you become an invitation. Not everyone will follow, but some will, and that matters, because when you reclaim yourself, you ripple. Chapter 18 explores the ripple. Your energy shifts everything around you. Your children watch. Your friends feel it. Your lovers sense the change. You become grounded, trustworthy, deep. You stop needing attention. You start offering presence. You stop performing. You start being. And in a world gasping for authenticity, your sobriety becomes an act of leadership. You walk into rooms and others feel safer because your soul is in the room too. So what if everyone did this? Chapter 19 paints the vision. Imagine a world where parties didn't require sedation, where celebration meant presence, not blackout, where elders shared wisdom instead of slurred regrets, where teenagers didn't have to prove their worth with poison. Imagine a world where rituals returned, where dance was sacred again, where song was medicine, not noise. We've been here before, and we can return. The final chapter is for you, the one watching. Let's finish this together. This isn't about judgment, it's about remembrance. You are not broken, you are not weak, you are not lost. You are powerful beyond measure. And the next time you reach for that drink, pause. Ask, what am I really thirsty for? Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's to be seen fully without numbing. Whatever it is, alcohol won't give it to you, but your soul will. Choose to stay present. Choose to stay awake. Choose to stay sovereign, because your spirit is sacred, and it's time to come home. Your light is not meant to be diluted. Let this be your legacy, to remain sovereign, clear, and wholly yours. If this message stirred something in you, subscribe, share this video, and help us awaken others. The world needs more souls who stay lit from within. You are not alone. You are returning to who you were always meant to be.